And what up, guys? This is Maverick here with the 10th and final episode of KonoSuba Season 1. Quite the journey to get here, though it is all too short, I gotta say. But in any case, last episode was more of a darkness-focused episode, where it really showcased the appeal of darkness, let's say. I will admit, my affection level towards her did raise quite the few levels, because of last episode. Mostly because of her sort of shy and timidness, and seeing her in her street clothes and not her night clothes and all that. But I will admit, her figure definitely didn't hurt her chances, right? But anyways, we left last episode on a cliffhanger where apparently the Destroyer Mobile Fortress Thingamajig is coming to attack town, and I guess that is the sort of like final boss for the first season. Now, with that being said, I do feel like there is one more party member who hasn't really shown her full appeal yet, let's say, and that is Aqua. So, is she actually going to get a chance to show more of her redeeming points, more of her cute points, or are they just going to say, to hell with it, let's just get on with the show, right? Don't know. Let's get right into it. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I mean, they already said, it's a mobile fortress. Yeah, I can respect that. Oh, no opening. Okay. So that was the... Well, I guess they did say it was a mobile fortress, right? Some sort of steampunkish inspired machination. It kind of reminds me of... Ooh, lasers as well. It kind of reminds me of something... what is that? What is that movie set in the Wild West and whatnot? Where it had this sort of mobile fortress. A Hollywood movie. I can't remember its name, but I seem to remember something similar to this. Oh, it's Chris. Explosion! Yeah, it's you. Bimba. Arc Wizard. So is like the Arc class the highest class this world has? Now Arc Priest, Arc Wizard. Compulsory participation. Alright. I wonder if their debts would consider to be wiped if the Destroyer destroys all the city walls. You actually shouldn't do that with your sword. Dustiness Fort Lalalatina? Hmm? I mean, it was kind of obvious. Otherwise, they wouldn't have such a great feast last episode. Okay, we're still going for a Darkness Appeal episode. Lalatina. Lalatina. I don't know why, that name just sounds so funny to me. Oh man. Lalatina. It's me, Lalatina. So apparently this world has high tech as well. Can an undead lich actually die beyond being purified? Not yet. Hmm? Ooh. Are you like a magical girl or something? Ooh. Damn, we got the opening here. Okay, I think I need to mute this part. Otherwise that'll be copyright struck. Damn! Woo! Oh. Dang, Wiz can use the exact same kind of magic? Nice CGI. That was sarcasm, by the way. Damn. Not flinching an inch. Ah. That means it's probably not destroyed yet. Yep. Self-destruct sequence? I mean, I guess it is a mobile fortress. Super emergency quest. I mean, they don't really say how big the self-destruction charges would be. Hmm? Oh. Oh, that's the reason. Hmm. So, this world... Look at their faces. Wait, so this world was actually technologically advanced, or at least that country was technologically advanced. Hmm? Oh, she's gonna take. But what could she do with just one person's magic? Was I guess she drained his life force instead? How will you take responsibility? Hmm. Wouldn't it be just a thing if they teleported it to, like, where the Demon King is? Or Devil King, or whatever. What? I guess now would be the time to douse it with water? Aqua, Aqua. Come on, Aqua. Hey, that's what I was thinking, right? Huh? Why not just use Aqua's, like, water magic? If it was strong enough to destroy a city wall, it's definitely enough to... Now's not the time, guys. What is this image? I wonder if... Oh. Okay. One fun note, explosion magic. And now we're probably gonna get one worthy of the opening. Whoosh. Nice. Although, like I said, I'm not quite sure fighting an explosion with an explosion really makes sense. Whatever. Don't question it. So if Darkness is actually the daughter of the family in charge of this area, I guess that means they're gonna be staying here for quite a while. No, I think you exploded the capital. Uh-huh. I mean, you have a Kami-sama in front of you. Ah, so that's the title drop. That's kind of weird. You would think that with his luck, it would actually go somewhere that's lucky for him. Unless that's actually part of the plot as well, where you know, that overlord someone something is actually evil or whatnot. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I don't really feel there's anything else after this. Although there might be, actually. Alright, I'll just let this play. It's been a while since I listened to the entire thing anyways. Chisana Boshinka. Moshinka. Small adventure. Or young adventure. Now this is definitely misleading. They were not living the farm life anymore. Oh, actually there is nothing left. Alright. Never mind. What does he look like now for me here? Anyways. See you guys. Alrighty, guys. So with that, this first season has come to an end. I feel like the destruction of the Lord's home is sorta kinda the stepping stone to further the story, maybe to make a transition into season 2, sort of like allowing them to finally leave this town and venture out into the world in some way, since I get a feeling that this isn't something that can really be resolved just like that. He's probably gonna have, Kazuma and company is probably gonna have to go explain themselves, maybe get acquainted with the rest of the country and so on and so forth, right? At least that's how I feel like they are trying to set up the situation. And so yeah, in this episode, Darkness's appeal meter is definitely going up, right? Or I guess we shouldn't call her Darkness now. We should call her Lalalatina. I don't know. I just find that name so freaking funny, and I absolutely love that Kazuma, being the cheeky person he is, immediately tried to call her by that name. I would have totally done the same thing as well, as you guys might see right now. Lalatina. But, I mean, like I said, it didn't come as too much of a surprise. She did seem, well, I guess I wouldn't really say she seemed well off, but just in the last episode, for example, she seemed to be, you know, her parents were the ones who sent them all that food and whatnot, right? And that was quite extravagant. So I figured that she had to come from a rich family. You know, I didn't really know if it was just aristocracy, or maybe she just came from like a rich merchant family or something like that. But at least it's confirmed here. So she is of, I wouldn't say, not royalty. What was it? Nobility, right? She is of nobility. But yeah, I think the biggest revelation was actually her name, Lalalatina. Anyways, back to the main story at hand, right? This destroyer, this mobile fortress. Honestly, I find this story kind of unbelievable, right? If you think about it, essentially three people were able to bring down a rampaging machine that completely obliterated a country, right? And not just any poor backwards country, literally the country that that created this machine, right? And also sought out and found this legendary material, right? Quite the advanced country here. And so you're telling me that this mobile destroyer, which could even take out an entire country with all its people in it and whatnot, were able to be stopped by just those three? You're saying that throughout all these years, you couldn't find three people in the world at the same level of Aqua, Megumin, and Wiz? Like, come on. That kind of required a huge suspicion of disbelief there. I know it's supposed to be mostly a gag anime and whatnot, but still, some things you just look at it and just like, I can't really buy into that, right? So yeah, that's my take on the situation. But I guess at the very least, it did show them being badasses, right? From Aqua with her magical powers to Megumin and Wiz. Not so much their first, their first blast of explosion magic towards the destroyer, but more so, I guess, the explosion at the end by Megumin to finally completely destroy the destroyer. Speaking of which, why didn't, again, I think I mentioned this in the episode as well, why transfer magic from Aqua to Megumin for her to use explosion magic? If Aqua could literally use her magic and, in the past we saw, create water to the amount of volume and pressure that it can even break city walls, why not just have her use that on the destroyer, right? Not to mention, I kind of highly doubt that it's a good idea to destroy an explosive object with more explosions, right? You get what I mean? Like, I'm no expert here, but I kind of feel like that's kind of counterproductive to the situation. I would rather think that using water to douse it, maybe cool it down and whatnot, that might have been the more reasonable approach here, right? But, yeah, anyways. Anywho, no, I guess in terms of cool scenes, I should probably mention Darkness or Latina as well, with with her unflinching resolve in the face of danger and whatnot. I gotta say that was pretty cool. On at least on the same level as the rest of them. And what else? I guess one final comment I have in regards to this episode is, again, back to the point where Kazuma is actually transferring magic from Aqua to Megumin, right? So, even though I already pointed out that I feel like this is kind of unnecessary and kind of a roundabout way to go about the situation, the reason I'm specifically mentioning this is, if this was a more serious work, right? Like, not particularly one, so deeply entrenched in gags and whatnot, if this was a serious work, I feel like that scene would have some kind of significance, right? Using Kazuma as sort of this medium to pour all this holy magical energy from Aqua, a goddess, and transfer it into someone else. In a lot of I guess not quite isekais, but just a lot of fantasy works that I read. Normally, this kind of situation would have some unexpected consequences that's happening to the person in question, the middleman, mostly on the positive side. But since, like I said, this is KonoSuba after all, I'm not really sure if there was any specific meaning to that, or maybe later on down the line we'll find that it did actually sort of change Kazuma's properties by a little bit, maybe improved his abilities by a little bit, so on and so forth, right? Just a final observation on that note. But yeah, for the rest, I think it was pretty straightforward. And like I said, my best guess is that this entire Destroyer thing was necessary to, one, reveal Darkness's true name, and two, so that we can further develop the story with some sort of connection to people outside of this town. Alright, and so that pretty much concludes this episode, right? As for KonoSuba as a whole, I think you guys can probably already tell from my videos, I am immensely enjoying this. It's indeed something that that fits my taste really, really well. And the funny thing is, a lot of people have been asking me, like, who's your favorite character, right? Like, is it Darkness? Is it Megumin? Is it Aqua? But honestly, my favorite character has got to be Kazuma here. What can I say? He just checks off a lot of things that I want to see in a protagonist, right? I want the protagonist to be cheeky. I want them to maybe not be this entirely upstanding goody two-shoes or whatnot. Even though Kazuma, we do see that he has his own moral compass as well. He isn't afraid to get down and dirty, right? So I do enjoy that as well. A little bit of a pervert, a little bit of an itchy. No, as we can see in this episode as well with him and Wiz, he can read the mood, if you will, so not one of those clueless protagonists and whatnot. And generally speaking, I really have no complaints about how he handles the character interactions between Aqua, between Megumin, and between Darkness. So he's doing, for the most part, what exactly I would want him to do in those situations. So it's just like a perfect match as of right now. So I really, really enjoy Kazuma being the protagonist here. The series probably wouldn't have worked as well if it wasn't someone with Kazuma's type of characteristics, if you will. As for the rest of the entirety of KonoSuba, I mean, at this point, I gotta say, it's still more of a gag anime, if you will. It's still steeped more into the comedy side. We do see sparks of a more serious side to KonoSuba, although I don't really know if it's going to eventually venture a little bit into that part. I think I mentioned at the very beginning, or probably not the beginning, like somewhere midway through the series, right? I feel like eventually you are going to have to show a serious side. Otherwise, you can't just remain a gag anime forever, right? You can't just remain a gag work forever. So I do expect to at least see some sort of epic arc or epic storyline in the future, at least for a while, right? Those of you guys who have been subscribers or my viewers for a long time probably already know by now that I really adore the Gintama series, and one of the main reasons why I adore it is because I love how it can transition from gag to very serious and very hype sort of situations just like that, right? And so I'm still looking forward to that in KonoSuba as well. I already like the characters, I love the comedy, but also show me some of the more serious and more hypey kind of situations. But in any case, I do intend to continue on with the series. If you guys checked out my 2020 summer anime watch list, you will know that I do plan on watching KonoSuba Season 2 as well. And, I mean, I think there's an OVA in between. With that being said, however, it might have to wait until the next season actually starts, because right now I'm actually trying to catch up with my ReZero to be in time with ReZero Season 2, which is releasing next season in early July, right? So I might be, having more of a daily incursion to the ReZero series to make sure that I can catch up, especially since this season is winding down as well. So don't worry, KonoSuba will be back soon, and it will be on the menu for the next season. So hopefully for all you guys who enjoyed this, I will see you guys yet again. So on that note, well, that's it for now, and hope I can see you guys around. Check out my other works, yada yada yada. You guys know the drill, and see you guys next time.